up, everybody? It's your girl. Welcome to China and welcome to my channel. And baby, this Meghan Markle and Prince Harry interview, oh my God, with Oprah got me shooketh. It was full of lies, deceit, racism. They was keeping our queen and our girl on lockdizzle, and she came out to tell us the truth. And we're about to talk about it today. Oh my God, I'm all dressed up. Make sure you grab your drink because we getting into it, okay? First point, we already getting into it. I'm ready. Meghan Markle coming to this interview like, listen, nothing is off limits for me. Oprah's like, so we haven't discussed any question? Meghan Markle like, no, you feel me? Nothing, Oprah, talk to me. So already I'm like, okay. You know, Miss Meghan Markle, she's an actress. Meghan Markle know how to serve us a show in an interview. So I was already tapped in. So she go ahead and tell us nothing is off limits. She says that she goes into this whole thing, you know, naivete. And Oprah questions her like, yo, you telling me that all this time you didn't think about this? You didn't Google this man? She's saying, no, I went into this so naive. She didn't even think about it. Until the one time that she said that she met the queen. And everyone was, you know, the Queen of England is the Queen of England, which, let me put you hip, Prince Harry's grandmama, okay? They're chilling, they're dating, they're courting, and then they say, oh my goodness, Meghan, the queen is here. She's outside eating. You want to come out and meet her? And then Harry's in the cab, and he says, Meghan, do you know how to curtsy? And she says, oh, I've never curtsied before. And he said, yes, girl, curtsy for me. And they practice outside. That was Meghan Markle's first taste, as she tells us. And to me, that was a little bit hard to understand and to wrap my head around. Like, Meghan Markle, you're telling me you didn't Google this man, you didn't look this up. But I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt throughout this thing, and I did. She sold me on it. She said that growing up in LA was something that she thought would be similar to growing up and being a royal. You know, Meghan Markle, if you don't know, she's 39 years old. Harry is 36. Meghan Markle is from LA. Okay, she's from LA. Okay, boom, boom, boom. So with that being said, she thought that this would be the same thing. She saw it to be no different. You know, she wasn't the type of girl that would be starstruck, you know. She bit off more than she can chew, obviously, because then she gets into the rootum of the tootum of everything. The wedding day. So we all know that they dated. They don't really get into too much information about, you know, the in-between times. But the wedding day in specific, something that was interesting when they were walking through their farm with Oprah, was that they shared that 3 days before they got married in public, that they married each other with the Archbishop. It was just them three. So I already realized that Harry and Meghan were already really locked in. I can tell that they are truly tapped in as a couple. I don't think this is any BS. I don't think they're using each other. I think that, you know, it's no fetishizing here. I think that truly this is really love. They love each other, and I can just tell by the way they look at each other, and as we get more into it, I have facts to support. Now, really, this is not for clout, okay? The Kate Middleton drama. So for those who do not know, it was a bunch of different tabloids going on about Meghan Markle already. But the biggest one that came out right when she got married into the royal family, right before her wedding, was a tabloid that she made Kate Middleton, which is i.e. Prince Harry's brother's wife, so her sister-in-law, or Prince Harry's sister-in-law, his brother's wife, cry. So basically the nieces and nephews, the nieces had bridesmaid dresses, and the paparazzi and the tabloids came out and said that Meghan made Kate cry when it came down to the dresses. But keep in mind, Meghan Markle said that she never talked about this issue at all. Somebody leaked it out of the royal constitution, or whoever they call it, the constituents, whoever. But it was not her. And when Oprah questioned her about it, you know, what happened in this situation? Did you make her cry? Meghan said it was actually quite the opposite. And as Meghan goes on and she starts to expand, she goes on and tells us that it was really Kate Middleton who made her cry and disrespected her, did something to her, which she didn't go in detail because Meghan's a classy broad, about what happened. And she said no one spoke up. Everyone in the Constitution knew. Everyone knew. But no one decided to speak up for Meghan Markle. Prince Harry Archie to come? Nobody. They just left it. And she just said, Oprah asked why. And she just said, I don't know, Oprah. IDK. So then Oprah goes on and talks about the tabloids, and Meghan says that she didn't really get into the tabloids, and I feel like I believe her because it was just so toxic, and I feel like her environment was just so different than it was before, which she probably did scroll through Instagram and read tabloids, but she had other things to tend to. They were talking about the comparisons between how Kate Middleton, again, i.e. the sister-in-law of the brother-in-law, Harry's brother, how she held her belly and how it was so endearing when she did it, but Meghan Markle did it for clout and she was posing because she was an actress, but i.e. because she's black and people wanted to ostracize and give her an issue. But I didn't even get into that yet. Then also Meghan Markle was caught eating an avocado and Kate Middleton was caught eating an avocado. Yes, an avocado. And they wanted to go ahead and give Meghan Markle a hard time, saying that she shouldn't be eating this because it is a drought and avocados was taking up all the moisture in the air and all these BS of things. But Kate Middleton can eat it because that's something that's very cute and dainty that she can eat for her baby. But what's the difference? The only difference is not beauty, it's race. But I didn't get there yet. I didn't get there yet. She goes on to say that the Queen, out of all people, everyone was really concerned about how the Queen treated Meghan, because the Queen has like a R.I.B., a resting beach face, and everybody was kind of concerned about, you know, how she treated her. But Meghan said each time, even though she met her, she looked at her like a grandmother. She said the Queen was very fond of her. She said the Queen was very sweet. She said the Queen was someone who she enjoyed, and she said that one time when they had to go and have lunch or breakfast, whatever, the Queen shared a blanket with her, and she was very sweet. So the Queen really had nothing to do with any of this drama, so they say. She was very fond. I have a hunch that it was really Harry's evil father, who played the Queen Princess Diana, who had a lot to do with this drama, but I'm just going to keep it at that. Her pregnancy. This was a huge topic on this. Her pregnancy. Meghan Markle's pregnancy was a huge deal because it was obviously Prince Harry's first child, Archie, who was a boy, and whether he was going to be a prince or not. But they only wanted to question whether he would be a prince or not, even though he would be next to be, is because of his race and his skin color we come out to see. And we can form these opinions, and they outwardly said it, kind of, but I'm just forming these opinions because I'm going to tell you what I saw. Meghan Markle came out to say, Harry came out to say later when they interviewed together that it was because of that he was basically going to be black. Keep in mind, Meghan Markle, the child, would probably be 25% black at this point. Meghan Markle is a biracial woman, to be exact, but still a black woman. You know, the one drop rule, right? But with that being said, everyone wanted to give her a hard time and say that she wouldn't get security, that Harry wouldn't get security, and no one wanted to give them a reason why. They even asked how dark his skin was going to be. And that was a conversation that Meghan wouldn't expand on, Harry wouldn't expand on, which I understand because it would bring detriment and it would be damaging to the family, she said, quote unquote. So they kept it to themselves. But you can just see the audacity of the caucasity that they were dealing with here in England, right? Now we get on to the saddest part, the part that made me sad, the part that makes me, I am a mental health advocate. I tell anybody I go to therapy every week. I suffer from anxiety. I've dealt with all these type of things, depressing feelings, all those. And Meghan Markle goes on to say that this time in her life was unsurvivable. So we're going to talk about the unsurvivable time that Meghan Markle said when she was in the kingdom and dealing with all of these outside forces and the tabloids and all the rumors surrounding her and her life. All the tabloids were lying on Meghan Markle. All these things were coming out. And you see on the TV show and through the interview that they're like posting things from the Daily Mail and the UK Mail and the Parliament and all those things are just very messy. They all work hand in hand and they all work together to bring Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, because guilty by association, his wife, his woman, his queen, down. With that being said, she went into a depressive state. She said she was not being protected. She was worried about their own security. And she said she wanted to get help because she had thoughts of hurting herself and taking herself, deleting herself out of this world, as I will say. So as she was having those thoughts, no one wanted to help her. She reached out, the Parliament, whomever, the constituency, they would not help her. She went to HR and she would do his work as an actress, and that's all she knew. They could not help her. Until she was only able to talk to a family friend, which was the best friend of Princess Diana, which is Prince Harry's mother's best friend who is now deceased and died in a car accident, if you do not know. So with that being said, the best friend of his mother, who was gone and deceased for over 20, 30 years now, was the only person that could relate to Meghan Markle because they would not allow her to get the help that she needed. Now, if you're still here, I really hope that you're still here in this video. So definitely drop a fire emoji if you're still here, because we're definitely still getting into it. She said that she woke up, she didn't want to be here. She said that she was weeping and crying to Harry, and one of the most iconic pictures that they had, she was just clenching Harry's hand so tight. She did not want to be here, and she woke up and told him that morning that she was having these thoughts of not wanting to be around anymore. I touched my heart because I feel so bad for Meghan Markle. It made me so sad, and just to see how, you know, people would think that this would be such a grandeur thing and such a beautiful thing, and she experienced so much hurt and so much hate in her life, all because this all comes down to her being black or being of color, being biracial, having any part of her. And Meghan Markle, I'm going to be blunt, is white passing, if anything. A lot of people did not even know that Meghan Markle was black. What if Meghan Markle was the skin tone of her mother, brown? God forbid, right? They were worried about the color of her baby's skin. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about Prince Harry. Now let's go ahead and talk about Prince Harry. Prince Harry has always been down with the culture. Don't get Prince Harry wrong. I'm not surprised that Prince Harry was down with the swirl. Prince Harry always found himself somewhere in Africa. Don't get me wrong. Trust me, there's a lot of places and a lot of kids that need help, not just African kids. But he was always there, okay? He was always there. So I already knew Harry was down with the swirl. He got the red hair. He loves it. He loves it. He's in love with the cocoa. Okay, he got it for the love. Don't play her. So with that being said, they come out and they say that, oh my God, we're having a what? A baby girl. Meghan Markle comes out and says that she's having a baby girl. This is absolutely perfect. They have a boy, Archie, and now they're about to have a baby girl. With that being said, Harry comes and he talks about the security being taken away. Meghan continues to expand and say that she just wanted to write letters. She did write letters. She reached out to whomever she could, and no one would want to listen. She said, I understand that me and my black child will not have, again, me and my black child will not have protection, but can my husband, at least who is the prince at one point, or whomever, can he please have protection, because I see the threats, the threats of people hurting them and taking their lives away. And still they said they could not do that, and they could not make that happen for them. To the point when Meghan Markle says that they are staying at Tyler Perry's house. Keep in mind, before this, Prince Harry said that they were cut off. So literally they move into Tyler Perry's home and uses Tyler Perry's security. Now imagine being Tyler Perry security. Like, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry gonna move here. Boss, what? It's just interesting to me, and this was under wraps, and Tyler Perry's a good man, God bless him. Tyler Perry, you're telling me that you had no more assets, that you had to use Tyler Perry's home? Keep in mind, it's a beautiful home and very, very expensive, but still, she's using her acting connections, and a man of color is the person who helped y'all. And you're royalty. And our community still comes through, and they couldn't even for their own, all because he had a black wife. And of course it's betrayal, and of course they don't talk to him. And Harry goes on to say that people weren't taking his calls when he would call, and just now, his father will just now take his calls. But something that I found interesting that Harry spoke about was that he was really ashamed, and he felt like he had no one to turn to when Meghan was going through all of these issues with her mental health. And that even his brother, his father, anybody, like, everyone just kind of sucked it up and was just stuck in this royal bubble. And they just, being a part of the institution, it was just not, it just wasn't it. They really struggled with, being able to be, a part of society, having Meghan Markle and his son, being of color. The tabloids in the UK, he said that they worked together, and that, they would be hosting the parties for each other at the palace. The palace would host the tabloids parties, and they would work in tandem, of course, to make Meghan Markle. I think ultimately what I got from this is that everyone worked together and didn't defend Meghan Markle. They didn't make the situation any better. They wanted to make her to the point that it was detriment to their own. And, that's just so so interesting, and I applaud, and I really do adore Prince Harry for that, for taking his own, you know, and taking his family as a man should. But it's just so sad that this was the circumstances that they came to. This man was a prince. Now they're living in California. You know, it's just interesting to see how their lives changed so much, all because he had a black wife. We know that that's all that it was, that she was modern and black. It's just interesting, right? He said that he felt left down. He felt that his father was not there for them. And the conversation of race, and, you know, he said that he's seen these signs of these things coming up, not just when they're asking, you know, the race of the baby. And that's something that he said that he didn't want to talk about. He didn't want to go in detail about, but it did indeed happen. And that was just like, dang, that was really happening to them. And that was something that they were experiencing a lot, was racism within the own institution. And I just said, wow, what do you know? You know, he doesn't really have a relationship with his brother. He goes on to say it's really just them all because he picked a different choice in life and still lived through his philanthropy and all those things, but he has a black wife. That's what it comes down to. He married a half-black, biracial, white passing woman, let me say it one more time. And they still gave him a hard time. They still had to live. Meghan wanted to not be here anymore because she felt that her life would be better if that everyone could survive without her. And also, it all stemmed from what I took from it was jealousy. Oprah said it, and I seen it. Everyone was just jealous. They spoke about when Meghan Markle, you know, went to some other event that was renowned, and that was a renowned event, right, when Diana, his mother, his late mother who passed away, who was iconic, that's when she shined and showed herself. And his mother wasn't a royal, it was his father. And that's when everyone fell in love with her, and it was just almost mirrored how everyone loved Meghan Markle in the reception, and everyone was so receptive to Meghan, more than he said that he could even, you know, imagine. And she just embodied that, and everyone was just jealous. It was a black woman getting too much popularity, too much clout, too much shine, and she was just a woman that was truly in love. And I just feel like that was just so sad. And people want to sit here and tell me that racism doesn't exist, that things don't happen, and she is a half-black woman experiencing these things, and people want to tell me something different, that racism doesn't exist. And I am in an interracial relationship, and those things exist every day. And I have to educate and continue to educate my partner and educate my family and educate everyone about these things that happen. And it just makes me so sad that Meghan Markle had to deal with these things. I have never felt so passionate about something that I've spoke about yet on my channel, almost, because it's just, people are awful, people will lie on you, and she didn't even leave the house. But somehow all these things come up, and all these accusations and all these awful, hurtful things come up about this poor woman, and she was just in love. But something that I loved about ultimately the interview, as Oprah walks through the chicken coops and the Archies and all those things, is that they have finally found peace, they have found love in their home, and they have always stuck together, and they have always protected each other. And Meghan just wanted the best for Harry, and Harry was always going to stand by Meghan. And truly imagine, and I've been in bad mental spaces where I've had to share that with my partner, how I feel, and it is hard and it's hurtful, and especially to feel alone, have no one to talk to get denied. This couple has went through a lot, all just because they love each other. You think she's in the limelight. Oh my goodness, she married a prince, and she even equated herself and her life to Ariel in The Little Mermaid that she was watching on TV in the house, because Ariel married a prince and she lost her voice. And that's what she said, that she lost her voice, but she felt like she gains it again. She gains it by having these interviews. And Oprah asked about backlash and all those things, and they just said they're not going to worry about that anymore. They have to live in their truth, and they cannot live in fear, and they have to really just be who they want to be. And I'm just here for it. I think that people need to be more accepting. I think people should really see this is an extreme, obviously, because they're dealing with royals and different things, actors and actresses and things like that. But with that being said, racism exists in interracial couples, and sometimes people can just love each other and still face these things. And you would have never thought that this would have happened to Prince Harry, but it definitely did, through hatred, jealousy, and everyone was jealous. Kate Middleton was jealous. The royals were jealous of the attention she was getting. Everyone was still just hating because who is this American woman, black American woman coming out of anywhere, and they just wouldn't protect her. And they almost mirrored and embodied and did the same thing to Princess Diana. They did. And history was almost about to repeat itself. And I just felt like Harry had to protect his wife. And I feel like it's a sensitivity because of the horrible tragedy that had happened to his mother. Things are weird in this world, and the world works in mysterious ways. So I wouldn't even put that vibe in the world to even, put Meghan in the position for anything to happen to her due to people's neglect. And just, people are hateful, hurtful, and disgusting nowadays, you guys. And it's just so sad that Meghan and Harry had to deal with all of these horrible things. But I just know that this is going to break off the rooftops. And I just am so happy for them and their baby and their peace. So I'm going to leave it at that. I talked a lot longer than I did, but I just wanted to talk about this because I absolutely enjoyed this interview and I wanted to get pretty and talk to you guys about it. So let me know what you think. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm on my way to 700 subscribers. I love you guys, and bye-bye.